how being unpredictable makes you more attractive as a high-value man. Freedom is the only worthy goal in life. It is won by disregarding things that lie beyond our control. Epictetus. Do you find yourself constantly available, hoping that reliability alone will win their affection? Well, today's topic flips that script. Predictability may bring comfort, but it's tension and mystery that spark attraction. When they can predict your every move, interest fades, and your presence becomes just another convenience. But when you shift the dynamic, when they can't anticipate your every step, you become the mystery they crave, the puzzle they can't ignore. Today we'll dig into the art of unpredictability, why stepping outside their expectations ignites attraction and builds respect. Are you ready to break free from the pattern and let them wonder where they stand? If this resonates, like, subscribe, and drop a comment. I am unpredictable. Let's make this change together and unleash a version of yourself they can't resist. Now, let's dive into 7 ways being unpredictable boosts your value and draws them in deeper than ever. Number 1. You break patterns and force them to chase. If you're always the one making the plans, sending that good morning text, or keeping the conversation alive, this predictability, though well-intentioned, quickly becomes the killer of attraction. When someone knows exactly how you'll respond, they stop feeling that spark. Patterns numb the senses and turn what was once exciting into the mundane. As the Stoic Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid, meaning embrace the unexpected, even if it feels risky. By stepping out of these familiar patterns, you're not only creating mystery, but demonstrating control, the kind of emotional mastery that Stoic life lessons encourage. To reclaim their attention, start by subtly breaking those routines. Don't reach out first. Don't reply instantly. This small change, as straightforward as it sounds, shifts the dynamic. When they realize they can no longer predict your every move, they're thrown off balance. The moment they begin to question why you're not as available, you've won half the battle. It's human nature to crave novelty, and when you introduce this unpredictability, they start to notice you again, wondering what it is that's different. They're intrigued, captivated by what they now have to work for, because, after all, we value most what requires effort. In relationships where you're constantly reaching out, you become background noise, expected yet unappreciated. But once you step back, you create a tension, a space that makes them think, why aren't they reaching out? Did I do something? This pause, this silence, speaks louder than words. It's not about making them feel insecure, but about showing that your time and energy are valuable. This is where the wisdom of Stoicism aligns perfectly with attraction. Knowing when to hold back teaches others to appreciate your presence rather than take it for granted. It's the art of creating distance without losing connection, the subtle mastery that makes others see you as a high-value man. Now, if you're thinking, won't they just walk away if I pull back? Remember this. Do you really want someone who only stays because you're constantly reaching out, always pulling the weight? True value relationships are reciprocal. They meet you halfway. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. So think about this. If you consistently offer your time freely, they stop respecting it. When you introduce unpredictability, you're saying, my energy is valuable, and it's something you must earn. Breaking these patterns takes courage, especially if you're used to being the one who keeps things going. But as you step back, something remarkable happens. They begin to reflect on what you brought to the table. They remember the consistency, the effort, and perhaps even the stability you offered. This reflection often leads to a newfound appreciation, an acknowledgement of the value you brought into their life. In this moment of reflection, they start questioning their own efforts, realizing perhaps they should have appreciated you more. This isn't about manipulation. It's about setting a standard. You're showing them and yourself that you won't be taken for granted. You're making it clear that being in your life is a privilege, not a right. When you break the cycle, you're not playing games. You're enforcing boundaries. You're demonstrating a sense of self-respect and self-worth values that Stoicism consistently upholds. A high-value man commands respect by respecting himself first, and sometimes that means pulling back to see who's willing to put in the effort to stay in your life. Breaking the pattern is just one step on this journey. When you let go of being the one who constantly gives, you shift the responsibility to them. They're now faced with a choice: meet you halfway or lose you. And this shift in dynamic is powerful. It's the beginning of a relationship where both sides contribute, where they work to keep you as much as you work to keep them. As Seneca once said, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." You're not giving endlessly. You're creating value in each interaction. This is your chance to take back control, to shift from chasing to being pursued. Now, stick with this. Resist the urge to fall back into familiar patterns, and watch how quickly the dynamic transforms when you take the reins of your own worth. Share your story, or simply type, "I am growing," if you're committed to using every moment to improve yourself. Let's keep this conversation going. I can't wait to hear your insights. Number 2, become the puzzle they can't solve. When was the last time you were truly captivated by someone you thought you had all figured out? The thrill often fades the moment familiarity sets in, when they can predict what you'll say, how you'll respond, or even when you'll reach out next. You become part of their routine, a safe yet unexciting fixture in their life. There's something about predictability that, while comforting, lacks the tension that keeps desire alive. In a world where answers are often just a click away, being a puzzle that can't be easily solved, a mystery they continually wonder about, is the art of attraction itself. As we dig deeper into this, remember Epictetus's words: "Man is not worried by real problems so much as by his imagined anxieties about real problems." This is the magic of unpredictability. It's not about causing chaos, but allowing just enough ambiguity that they are left to wonder, question, and analyze. It's the imagined possibilities, the what-ifs and why-nots, that hold power. Take relationships, for instance. Let's say you're beginning to know someone new. Initially, you're attentive, responding to messages, reaching out, and they're engaged. But soon enough, you might find the energy shift, their interest waning as they become accustomed to your presence. In your mind, consistency would win their favor, showing them that you're invested. But for them, the predictability becomes a comfort they know they can rely on, a certainty that dims the excitement. Now imagine pulling back. One day you're responsive and warm, the next you're not as available, leaving them guessing. Are they still on your mind? Did they do something wrong? This uncertainty is precisely the spark that rekindles their curiosity, making you a puzzle they can't ignore. Seneca once observed, "A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials." It's this friction, this unpredictability, that creates attraction. It's the space between certainty and question that keeps people drawn in. Unpredictability doesn't mean erratic behavior. Instead, it's the balance of warmth and distance, attentiveness and mystery. It invites them to reflect on their actions, wondering if they've missed something, questioning their own part in the dynamic. This tension isn't just about keeping them intrigued, it's about reclaiming your power. You're showing that access to you isn't guaranteed, and that understanding you isn't a simple task to be completed in a few days or even weeks. Each unanswered question, each unexpected silence, becomes a reminder of your depth, the layers they've yet to uncover. So what does this mean for you? Embrace the role of the puzzle that takes time to understand, the mystery they can't solve at a glance. Ask yourself, how can you bring a hint of unpredictability into your life? Could stepping back create a space that others feel drawn to fill? In Stoic happiness, there's power in maintaining the balance between openness and mystery, revealing that attraction isn't found in the obvious but in the subtle interplay of connection and distance. As you embody this, remember that true strength lies in the unspoken words, the pauses that invite others to reflect, and the quiet resilience that keeps them captivated. If this resonates with you and you're eager to explore more about becoming unforgettable, make sure you're part of this journey by subscribing and turning on notifications. Here's to building intrigue, embracing Stoic happiness, and mastering the art of leaving just enough to the imagination. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need a reminder of the strength that comes from holding on to their dignity. Let's keep this conversation going and dive deeper into what it truly means to live by the principles of Stoicism. Number 3. Spark their fear of replacement. Every time you disappear or change up your patterns, something powerful stirs in their mind, a deep-seated fear that someone else might be stepping into the space they once thought was theirs. When you become unpredictable, you're no longer a guaranteed presence. Instead, you're a mystery, someone they're not entirely sure about. And what does the mind do when faced with uncertainty? It fills in the gaps, often in dramatic ways. The Stoic philosopher Seneca said, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." This is where the Stoic mindset truly plays to your advantage. By holding your ground and remaining a high-value man with a sense of mystery, you tap into their imagination, making them wonder, what if they've moved on? What if someone else is now getting the attention I used to take for granted? Think about it when you're no longer available at their convenience. Their mind begins to spiral, fixating on the idea that you're out there living life on your own terms. This isn't just about making them miss you, it's about allowing them to feel the sting of possible replacement. They might find themselves glancing at your social media, analyzing your every post, wondering who's around you or what exciting experiences you're having without them. It creates a mental tension, a sense of anxiety that keeps them coming back for more, because in your absence, they're faced with a crucial realization. You're not waiting around, and that fear of replacement, that sense of loss, becomes an emotional hook they just can't shake. Have you ever thought about the impact of letting go of someone's expectations? When you no longer cater to their comfort, they begin to question everything. They might have felt secure before, but your unpredictability challenges that illusion. This is a critical element of dark psychology. People value what they think they might lose. When they sense that you're not dependent on their approval, they start to see you as more desirable, a true high-value man who doesn't compromise his self-respect. This is the essence of Win Stoic. It's about understanding human nature and leveraging the Stoic mindset to remain unattached to others' opinions. ultimately making them feel the depth of your worth. Now, here's a question to consider. What happens when you no longer need their validation? When you project an aura of self-sufficiency, it naturally draws others in because they sense that you don't seek approval. And that's what gives you power. You're not just withholding your attention, you're building an air of mystery that leaves them wondering what's going on in your life. They start to question, did they find someone else? Are they happier now? This quiet unpredictability makes them realize they can no longer take you for granted, prompting them to work harder to win back your interest. This is a key strategy for high-value men who wish to cultivate a stoic mindset in their relationships, allowing others to feel their absence deeply and sparking that primal fear of replacement. It's interesting how just creating a little distance can spark so much curiosity. Instead of being a predictable and available presence, you are now a rare event, and this scarcity becomes intoxicating. When you don't fully express your feelings or thoughts, they are left guessing, and that guessing game is what draws them closer. Remember, being stoic isn't about being emotionless. It's about being selective about when and to whom you reveal your value. This not only makes you more attractive, it also solidifies your role as someone worth remembering, someone whose time and attention are precious and rare. And ultimately, it's this delicate balance of detachment and mystery that allows you to navigate relationships as a high-value man with clarity and strength. If you want to aim for this value, comment below high-value man, and let's do it together. Number 4. Build a magnetic aura of self-respect. Building a magnetic aura of self-respect begins with how you perceive yourself, how you treat yourself, and the standards you set in every interaction. People often take cues from us on how to treat us, mirroring our own sense of self-worth. When you truly respect yourself, there's no need to shout your worth or seek validation. It's a quiet, steadfast force evident in the way you walk, speak, and carry yourself. Marcus Aurelius, the Stoic philosopher, once observed, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." When those thoughts reflect unwavering self-respect, they emanate outward, creating a kind of magnetism that draws people to you naturally. This quiet confidence isn't about arrogance. It's about a grounded strength that says you know your worth without having to announce it. What is Stoicism if not the practice of embracing inner strength, letting go of the need for approval, and instead living in harmony with our own principles? To harness this self-respect, start by defining your boundaries and holding them firm. Every time you set a boundary or choose to prioritize your own standards, you're reinforcing your value not just to others, but to yourself. And it's powerful. It sends a clear message to the world about how you expect to be treated. Epictetus, another Stoic sage, posed a question that serves as a potent reminder of this choice. How long are you going to wait before you demand the best for yourself? This doesn't mean you should demand perfection from others, but it does mean you owe yourself the best in terms of self-respect, of knowing and honoring your worth. There's a subtle shift that happens when you make this choice people notice, and they mirror the respect they see you giving yourself. Stoic life lessons teach us that the highest value lies in self-respect and in refusing to compromise on what we know is right for us. Consider moments in relationships when you might have overextended yourself, thinking that giving more would lead to being valued more. Yet often, the more we chase after acceptance, the more others pull away. True self-respect means recognizing when a relationship isn't serving you and being willing to walk away if necessary. This is how you cultivate a powerful aura, one that silently communicates that you're not to be taken lightly. When you value yourself enough to walk away from what doesn't honor you, others take note, not because you're seeking attention, but because they sense that you're anchored in your own standards. This isn't just theory. It's a deeply practical approach to life. In practical terms, creating this aura isn't only about saying no to what doesn't align with your values, but also wholeheartedly saying yes to the things that do. It's about crafting a life that reflects your own beliefs, not out of rebellion, but out of authenticity. As you do this, people are drawn to you, not because you're seeking their approval, but because you radiate an inner assurance that makes them want to be part of what you've built. When you hold yourself with respect, it's like holding a mirror up to others, inspiring them to treat you with that same respect. This is the essence of Stoic life lessons and a living testament to the power of self-respect. Moving through the world grounded in who you are, unshaken, not for the sake of impressing others, but because you've already impressed upon yourself what truly matters. If this message resonates with you, don't forget to like this video and share it with others who might need a reminder of the strength that comes from holding on to their dignity. Let's keep this conversation going and dive deeper into what it truly means to live by the principles of Stoicism. Number 5. You redefine what it means to be present. Every time you make yourself consistently available, every yes you give and every predictable appearance, you're teaching people to see your presence as routine, as something ordinary. But here's the unvarnished truth. When you become too predictable, you lose the magnetic allure that high-value men embody. Just as you would stop marveling at a daily sunrise, people lose sight of you when they assume you'll always be there. The essence of what is Stoicism is found in maintaining a balance, a controlled unpredictability that leaves others curious, wondering about your next move. Presence isn't about filling every moment, it's about making the moments you do fill resonate, linger, and feel like rare gifts. Imagine a melody that plays without pause, nothing but constant sound. It's the silence between notes, the anticipation, that turns noise into music. Your presence works the same way. Predictability is noise, but rare, intentional appearances. That's music. You become unforgettable when you know how to space out your presence, to make each appearance feel like a breath of fresh air. But here's the hard part. Breaking the habit of being the one who always initiates, who always reaches out, who does all the heavy lifting emotionally. Attraction thrives on tension, on moments of suspense that create curiosity. When people can't predict when you'll show up, they'll find themselves eagerly waiting, thinking of you even in your absence. To shift your dynamic, start by embracing restraint. Reconsider that urge to text, to call, or to be the first to offer comfort. Ask yourself, does this act make you indispensable, or does it make you routine? When you hold back, when you resist the pull to always be available, you stir curiosity in a way that brings others closer. Like pulling back a slingshot, your absence gains power the longer you wait, and when you finally return, it will be on your terms, bringing impact and command, demanding respect and attention. This is the Stoic life lesson of intentional presence, giving meaning to each encounter instead of filling the void. Consider this. If you handed someone a gold coin every day, at first, they'd cherish each one. But soon enough, it would become routine, and they'd start expecting it, even disregarding it. But the day you stop, panic sets in, and suddenly, that gold coin becomes priceless once more. Your attention, your time, is that coin. Handed out too freely, it loses its value. When withheld intentionally, it becomes a rare gift. With each absence, you're teaching others to treasure what you bring. This journey won't be quick or easy. Every part of you will want to reach out, explain, and reassure. But that discomfort is where growth lives. True change doesn't happen overnight, and neither does your transformation into the high-value man others can't ignore. Stay with me on this path of self-mastery, where each step strengthens your worth and reveals a version of yourself that doesn't chase but attracts, doesn't give away freely but shares with purpose. This is the first step on a path that demands resilience and patience. You're becoming someone they can't take for granted, someone whose presence, when it appears, feels like a rare and unforgettable gift. The transformation won't feel easy, but stick with it. You're not just changing how others see you, you're changing how you see yourself. Comment with this affirmation to solidify your commitment. Your name: you are unpredictable. Let's see who's truly ready to own their power, to turn the tables, and to be the person everyone chases, but no one can predict. We're only just beginning, so commit to this journey. If this resonates with you, share your thoughts in the comments below and type, "I choose to stand firm," if you're committed to embracing your worth. Remember, in the journey of mastering Stoic life lessons, the key lies in knowing that you are enough, just as you are. Number 6. Force them to earn every interaction. When people have easy access to your time and energy, they begin to feel entitled to it, often without giving anything in return. It's like leaving your door open, signaling that anyone is infinitely welcome. The more accessible you are, the less they appreciate or even notice your presence. Marcus Aurelius, a guiding voice in Stoicism, once said, "The value of one's attention is measured by its scarcity." Think about that for a moment. The value of your attention isn't just about giving it. It's about creating a space where it has weight and meaning. If you consistently drop everything the moment someone calls, they'll see that as the norm, making each interaction feel mundane. But when you make yourself a little less available, the whole dynamic changes. Suddenly, they have to earn a spot on your schedule, and every interaction feels intentional. And isn't that exactly what Stoic happiness and Stoicism today emphasize? When you live with purpose, paying attention to what really matters. Now, think about your own relationships. If you're always the initiator, keeping the fire burning, what happens if you step back? When you're always there, ready to respond, it's easier for people to see you as a safety net than a priority. And while it's hard, when you step back, it teaches others that your presence is intentional, not something they can count on when they need it. At first, it may feel difficult, even lonely, as you're changing a dynamic you've maintained for so long. But it's this shift that creates real connection and respect. People who truly value you will step up. They'll notice your absence, sense it, and make an effort to close that gap themselves. If you find this relevant to you, comment below. Stop giving yourself comfort, and let's continue this journey. Number 7. Turn boredom into fascination. Why does fascination fade and attraction weaken when people fall into routines and expectations? The answer lies in the absence of intrigue, a key element in attraction that keeps relationships alive and thriving. As the Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "First say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have to do." If you desire to be someone who commands genuine attraction, someone who lives in alignment with what is Stoicism at its core, you must first shake off the mundane and adopt unpredictability as an art form, a way to inspire curiosity rather than routine. Imagine your interactions as episodes in a TV series, the ones filled with suspense, the ones that keep audiences guessing, are the ones people eagerly binge-watch late into the night. When you bring that sense of intrigue into your own life, each interaction becomes more than just routine. It's a chance to create unforgettable moments. In a world where predictability is abundant, you have the unique power to stand out, to transform boredom into fascination by consciously choosing when and how you interact with others. Breaking free from patterns to ignite curiosity is an act of control that begins within. If every message or response is timed and predictable, the excitement fades. Familiarity can make others feel as though they've already figured you out. And let's face it, human nature is wired to yearn for discovery, to seek out newness. By being just a bit harder to read, you'll find that people naturally wonder, what's next? Start with subtle changes, respond at a different time, or say no when a yes is anticipated. By shifting your energy and responses unexpectedly, you create a dynamic of surprise, adding that touch of excitement people find irresistible. Think of it as establishing what Stoicism defines as emotional discipline. Rather than conforming to others' expectations, you act from your own inner resolve, turning yourself into a source of intrigue they want to unravel. Become their favorite series by introducing an element of suspense to each interaction. A successful series leaves viewers guessing, anticipating each plot twist, excited to see what comes next. Imagine adopting this approach. Each conversation with you is like a fresh episode, intriguing and compelling. And this is not about mind games or manipulation. Instead, it's about showcasing a rich, multifaceted self that isn't easy to categorize. It's about bringing spontaneity into your presence so that people feel captivated by the layers you reveal over time. As in Stoic life lessons, maintaining a calm, centered approach to your actions and words makes these changes authentic, enhancing the respect and mystery others feel toward you. By being a complex character in the lives of those around you, you draw them in and keep their attention in a world otherwise overwhelmed by predictability. Resisting the pull of familiar patterns might initially feel uncomfortable. It's tempting to fall back into old habits, to text back instantly, or plan meetups as you always have. But this is where practicing Stoic life lessons serves you well. Stoicism teaches us to master our impulses and cultivate behaviors that elevate our sense of self-worth. By maintaining a calm and measured approach, you add depth to your interactions. Sometimes silence speaks louder than words, and unexpected shifts in your focus reveal a fresh side of you. When others can't anticipate your next move, they stay captivated, lingering on thoughts of you in those quiet, unexpected moments. When you master this art, your presence becomes an experience, a form of adventure, something they can't quite pin down or control. By incorporating these simple yet profound Stoic life lessons into your daily actions, you make others realize they can't put you in a box. In doing so, you not only cultivate more meaningful connections, but also practice what is Stoicism in its most relatable form. This is the power of being the dynamic, unpredictable person who defies expectations not as a game, but as an honest reflection of a life lived with intention. So, as you break free from routine, watch how people respond to the mystery and depth you bring into their lives. In this video, we've explored how embracing unpredictability can heighten your appeal and influence, using insights from dark psychology to enhance your presence as a high-value man. When you are unpredictable, you capture attention and create a sense of intrigue, making your interactions more memorable and impactful. If these principles resonate with you, I encourage you to reflect on how you might incorporate them into your daily life for personal growth and fulfillment. Are there moments where adding a touch of unpredictability could elevate your relationships or confidence? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Show your support by liking this video